쿠알라룸푸르 방사르에 왔습니다. 방사르는 도심에서 4km 정도 떨어져 있는 살짝 외곽이고요. 보시면 아시겠지만 여기가 전형적인 또 부촌이에요. 단독주택지가 쫙 펼쳐져 있고요. 유럽풍의 디자이너 편집숍, 색다른 스타일의 브런치, 그리고 카페, 작은 뮤지엄, 갤러리 등이 여기에 산재되어 있고요. 팬데믹 이전에 여기가 최고의 힙플레이스, 핫플레이스로 불리던 곳입니다. 코로나가 터지고 가게 문을 많이 닫으면서 한풀 꺾였다고 하더라고요. 더 중요한 것은 쿠알라룸푸르에도 우리나라처럼 새로운 스타일의 힙플레이스들이 많이 생기고 있습니다. 그 지역이 갖고 있는 고유성들, 그 DNA를 활용해가지고 리노베이션한 공간들이 많이 생겨서 방사르와 같은 곳들이 많이 생겨났습니다. 코로나 이전에는 트렌드 세트나 내가 조금 세련됐다, 힙하다 이런 사람들은 놀러 갈 때 방사르 가자 라고 하는 게 일상 용어였고요. 근데 요즘에는 이런 공간들이 많이 생겨서 사람들이 분산되긴 했지만 아직도 방사르는 방사르라고 하고 있습니다. 지금 제 뒤에 보이는 곳이 이제 방사르 빌리지인데요. 이 동네에 사는 엄마들의 놀이터라고 불리고 있습니다. 규모가 확 그렇게 쿠알라룸푸르에 있는 대형 백화점이나 쇼핑몰 같이 그렇게 크진 않지만 뭐 들어가 있는 브랜드들이 만만치 않고요. 그런 곳인데 특이하게도 로컬브랜드 편집숍 언플러그가 여기에 입점했습니다. 왜 방사르를 택했을까요? 그게 또 하나의 이유가 될 것이고요. 로컬 브랜드, 로컬 콘텐츠를 다루는 사람들이 언플러그가 방사르에 온 이유를 생각해 보는 것도 하나의 힌트가 될 것입니다. 언플러그를 만나러 가보겠습니다. 오늘은 언플러그, 쿠알라룸푸르에 있는 언플러그 나즈미아 대표를 만나서 이야기를 한번 나눠보겠습니다. 네, 반갑습니다. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you. 여기 매장에 들어온 거 말고 언플러그가 혹시 시작된 곳이 다른 곳이 있었습니까?
Okay, this is our first and only outlet, and we're also online.
언제 창업하셨죠?
We started Unplug 2018.
2000.
Yeah.
혹시 뭐 이거 창업하기 전에 다른 일을 하셨습니까?
Yeah, so I am trained as an interior designer. I've always been a creative. So it's been about 8 years that I was in the creative industry, from design work to working with artists for creative arts festivals. So I've always had the passion of supporting creative works, sustainability. We worked with a lot of artists that gave back to the community. So I think when we started Unplug, it was in essence the same core work, where we wanted to support designers, brands that are creatives and that want to do positive impact to their community and the environment.
그때 한 10년 동안 디자이너로 활동하실 때 프리랜서였는지 어느 회사 소속이었는지.
Yeah, so I was working with the company. Maybe like 3 companies, but all in the creative arts design industry. And then when I left before Unplug, we actually had our own brand. It was a sustainable brand in 2016. At that time in Malaysia, sustainability in retail was new. No one really knew about it. It was very difficult for us. It was actually from that my first business that led to Unplug, because we saw a gap in the retail market. There was no commercial space that really wanted to promote and elevate sustainable and social enterprises. So we thought about it. We were like, we actually need to come up with a retail platform that can lift up all of these other smaller brands, because together it's much easier to do than trying to do it by yourself.
그럼 이전에 한번 창업했던 건 왜 실패를 했죠?
Because in Malaysia, no one cared about sustainable products. No, there's no knowledge about it, so people didn't understand. Today, especially after pandemic, everyone's talking about it. You know, it's common knowledge now. People know much more about it. So I think in the beginning, 2015, 16, it was very difficult because we needed to educate. And in order to educate, we needed more resources and help from the industry and the ecosystem. So we needed also retailers, marketeers to help amplify our goals and aims. At that point, there was very little of that. No one was interested. No one knew anything about it.
전에 만들었던 회사 이름은
Realm. REALM, and it stood for real material.
정말 직접적이네요.
Yeah.
언플러그라고 하면 보통 우리 음악 쪽에서 일렉 사운드를 사용하지 않고 내추럴한 사운드를 내는 것들을 언플러그드라고 부르는데 혹시 그것과 연관이 있는지?
Great question. Unplug, because we are in retail, Unplug was a whole idea of reconnecting, disconnecting from mass production. How normal product, retail is mass production, speed, trend, buy, sell, mass production, mass consumption. We wanted to disconnect, to reconnect with smaller players, small, local, independent brands that do slow production. They work in harmony with the environment. So it's not just about profit, it's about giving back to the community, it's about creativity, it's about giving back to the environment. So Unplug is like disconnecting to reconnect with values.
야, 아무래도 저희가 찾아냈을 때 이름 때문에 너무 멋지다고 생각했거든요.
That's awesome.
예. 그래서 또 붙여서 질문을 드리자면 원래 디자이너로 출발했을 때 이러한 지속 가능한 가치에 대해서 관심이 있었는지.
I was always interested. Always. I always loved working with artists and designs that work with traditional skills, with their hands. People whose artists and messages also reflect a sense of responsibility to the environment. It's the same interest, and I've just applied it to retail. I thought, when I got into the business of retail, those same values, I thought I had to practice it myself. It's easy for me to just buy cheap, think of what is the cheapest products I can buy and sell, but that's not interesting to me, and I wanted to sort of give back in that sense.
대량 생산은 이 디자이너의 창의성을 좀 떨어뜨릴까요?
I mean, I think I'm not to say that it doesn't work out, but I feel like there's a lot of waste, a lot of problems when it comes to also social workers, like how people are paid. In terms of impacts, the production, there's a lot of sustainability issues there. This is where we start to really question how things are made. Whereas when I look at smaller productions, I know that when I pay and the customers pay, where it goes.
Yeah.
This artisans and their livelihood is going into this, right? But if it's a huge factory, where does the money go? The top boss? It's layers and layers. I'm not to say one is better than the other. I don't want to say that because it's more complex than that. The problem with sustainability, but my interest is to give attention to the smaller individual creatives, brands.
제가 질문을 드리는 이유는 그 사안들에 대한 가치 판단이 아니고 본인의 선택에 대한 질문이었어요, 사실은. 그래서 이제 제가 궁금했던 부분은 두 개가 동시에 작동을 하겠지만 이 스몰 브랜드, 스몰 프로덕트들이 환경을 해치지 않는 강점도 있지만 크리에이티브를 확 끌어올려 주기도 하거든요. 그러니까 어떤 것에 더 중심을 두는지 동시에 갖고 있겠지만 그게 전 궁금했던 거예요.
I definitely feel like there's more values in things that are made by your hand. Because they cannot be replicated so easily, and it's also, even though when you have factory made, a lot of production, and it's speed. I mean, you look at printed batik, right, versus someone who stamps it. There's a difference there. And there's also, we put value in time, the essence of time. Something that takes a machine maybe 1 hour, takes someone to do maybe 8 hours for that. So what we're paying in the end and the value of it is also the time that this actually came from a person to me, and it's also exclusive. Each handmade item is one-off. And then because a smaller collection that they produce, they cannot reproduce all the time. So this is it. It's exclusive. It's limited. So there's a lot more novelty in that. To me, that's what we prefer and we love.
이런 생각 드는 거죠. 결국 디자이너들의 높은 창의성과 그 스몰 브랜드가 결국에는 지구에 좋은 영향을 끼친다. 그런 생각이 든다는 거죠.
Yeah, for sure. I was going to say sometimes we have a lot of feedback from customers. They're like, well, okay, this shirt I can buy maybe $20 USD, but in your shop and our shop, it's hand dyed, it's handmade. Why is it 3 times more? But I always tell them there is value in time. Nature has its own timing, right? But technology tries to make it shorter and shorter and shorter. This is where the problem comes in. So it's what I mean to say is that we pay for the essence of time that makes really good products. Anything good takes time to make. And that's what I feel makes a certain product and design special, is because it takes so much time just to produce it as well. And there's a lot more thought that goes into it. Whereas in a machine, you just press go, done.
예. 공동 창업을 하셨더라고요.
Yes, my sister.
sister.
Yes, it's a family business.
아까 이제 실패했을 때 혼자 하는 그 한계를 느껴서 공동 창업을 했다고 하시는데.
I guess keeping it in the family, someone we trust. We both also are personally invested and passionate about the project, so it made sense for us.
동생도 디자이너입니까?
Not designer, she's in branding and communications. Yeah.
Unplug도 혹시 동생이?
Yes. Also the branding, Unplug.
이제 한국 상황과 비교해서 좀 질문을 해보겠습니다. 이런 샵들을 사실 한국에서는 이런 공간에 좀 들어오기 힘들어요. 월세가 비싸서. 이렇게 쇼핑몰로 딱 선택한 이유가 혹시 있으신지?
Good question. Before we chose the location, we actually tested out through smaller pop-ups, different malls, different locations, through events, to kind of see the demographic, the customer response. And Bangsar is actually the prime area where our target demographic is. So this location it makes sense for us because our target demographic is here.
내가 하고 싶은 것만 하기 위해서 초점을 맞추기보다 나의 이 일을 이해할 수 있는 곳으로 간 걸로 보면 되겠습니까?
Yes. It was lower risk for us. Even though the existing demographic understands, Bangsar location is very central to the rest of Malaysia. So when we do grab the attention of demographics that are a bit further from this kind of demographic, Bangsar is very easy to get to. So we also have a very accessible location that's central.
쿠알라룸푸르에 한정해서 쿠알라룸푸르의 언플러그와 비슷한 컨셉의 가치를 추구하는 편지샵들이 좀 있습니까? 다른 데도?
No.
No.
Yeah. Like I said, it's funny, but even till today, this space, working with eco-friendly brands, eco-conscious brands, is still new in Malaysia, surprisingly, still. And it's good because all the smaller brands that are leading the way in the space, we work together. So because we work with so many brands, we're kind of all in the same community working together rather than competition.
약간 비슷하지만 다른 질문인데 그래서 아까 알면서도 왜 인자고 여쭤봤냐면 이게 이러한 가게들이 많아지면 많아질수록 친환경 제품이나 지속 가능한 제품을 지지하고 구매해주는 소비자들이 늘어날 거잖아요.
I definitely feel there's still space for everyone to coexist.
사실 지금 질문을 하기 위해서 지금 깐 거거든요. 앞에 두 개를. 쿠알라룸푸르 전체는 아니지만 어쨌든 지금 쿠알라룸푸르 사람들에게 언플러그 이 매장이 쿠알라룸푸르 사람들의 라이프스타일에 좀 영향을 끼치고 있다고 생각하는지, 끼치고 있다면 어느 정도인지.
I would say we're still, what do you call it, considered boutique in terms of people's knowledge about us. I wish we could grow bigger, have multiple locations, and spread our word. But again, it boils down to our resources. Yeah, if we had the means to like expand and grow, we would love to, so that we could capture a greater audience.
여기에 있는 브랜드들 특별히 이제 선택하는 이유를 좀 듣고 싶은 거거든요. 그러니까 지금 여기 있는 제품들이 뭐 크래프트나 그다음에 로컬, 리유저블, 뭐 그런 것들이 많은데 그런 이제 브랜드들이 가진 특성들 말고 혹시 지금 여기에 들어와 있는 브랜드들을 선택하신 개별의 좀 이유가 있는지 그걸 좀 설명 좀 부탁드리겠습니다.
So, as you know, we've always wanted to work and promote sustainability in retail because it really boils down to production and consumption. Us as consumers, we have the power to make a change in what we purchase. So we're supporting businesses that have a lot of negative effect on the environment by how they produce things. That's what we're supporting by purchasing from them. I wanted to do the opposite way. Sustainability is so broad, and we wanted to invite as many as people to understand core values we felt were part of sustainability. And those core values are 8, which is what we curate each brand around. So these 8, it's eco-friendly materials, eco-friendly packaging, social impact, so social enterprises that work with community, preserving traditional skills, local made, zero waste innovation, as you've seen, fair trade, and sustainable procurement. So these 8 values might focus on just one, other brands 3, but our idea is to showcase and offer and tell these different stories. So customers, when they come in, they understand different things, and at least we have a full offering of little baby steps of how you can be more responsible with how you purchase. It could be simple as, okay, you might not like the environmental friendly materials, but you want to support local. That's fine. But you have options.
전에 회사 이름이 리얼 매트리얼인데 역시나 첫 번째 이유가 매트리얼이네요. 혹시 매트리얼에 좀 집착하는 이유가 있는지.
I think it's important to go back to nature.
어릴 때부터 그렇게 좀 자연 친화적이고 그런 데 관심이 많았습니까?
Yeah, it's a basic value in our household. Like, never waste food, never throw things out. These are just very simple, basic, we've always grown up with it. Our grandmas were more natural than us, you know what I mean? They live very simple, close to nature. So I think the more we move away from that and the more, today, we need to go back basically to the simple values that we had back.
대화 속에 자연에 대한 존경심이 느껴져요. 이 단순히 취향이 아닌 것 같아요. 그러니까.
Okay, thank you. That's good. That's good.
다시 돌아가서 아까 이제 50개의 브랜드가 있다고 했는데 소셜 엔터프라이즈, 그러니까 사회적 기업 이야기를 많이 하시더라고요. 이 말레이시아 내에 이 사회적 기업이 좀 많습니까? 몇 개 정도 될까요?
I don't know numbers, but it's been around, and social enterprises, we don't have that many. Brands from Malaysia or also from Indonesia, and because we have from around the world as well. From Malaysia, we're working with at least 3 from Malaysia, but I think it's not that big here, but the ones that exist, they're doing amazing work. Amazing work.
아까 선택한 기준을 말씀하셨는데 그 기준을 갖고 이 브랜드를 선정하는 혹시 과정이 있을까요?
When we first started, we had to do our research and find and contact these brands. But now, because we've been in the business for quite some time, brands discover us and then they propose to us. So we really have a conversation. First steps first is to really have a conversation with the brand owner. So he will walk us through his process, his products, his vision for his business. And some of the brands, they also have certification. That helps a lot because you can verify what their claims, right? So we go through this process. We do give room. We're not that strict in a way that if they don't have certification, we don't take them. No, because we know that they're still doing the good works. Sometimes it's costly to go through certification as a small brand. So it's really about getting to know and building that relationship with the brand owners. And again, because it's a small business, transparency is there. I think if I was working with larger companies, it's hard to get all those information.
근데 이제 오퍼가 많다고 해서 질문을 드린 건데 수수료가 어느 정도일까요?
Oh yeah. So it's we work with via consignment model, if you're aware of that. So it's a very standard procedure. We work with most of the brands through consignment. So basically, we don't purchase the stock at wholesale. We don't do that. They place a certain amount and then we get a cut. I mean, I'd rather not. But I can say that we're working with average market rate.
예. 왜 또 그 질문을 했냐면 첫 번째는 이제 오퍼가 많다고 하는 것은 조건이 매력적이면 할 수도 있잖아요. 그래서 질문을 했던 거였고, 두 번째는 이제 한국 같은 경우에는 일부러 이 퍼센테이지를 좀 낮추는 경향이 있어요. 그게 아니라 시장 가격에 맞췄다는 게 듣고 나서 보니까 흥미로웠다고.
Right. Typically, I mean, I can give you a range of the average here. In Malaysia, if it's a very new location or new brand, about 25 cut that they take. So it ranges from 25 to as high as 45. That's the range that Malaysia right now is practicing.
그러면 이제 또 비슷한 질문인데 이 50개 브랜드 중에서 지역의 좀 고유한 특성을 좀 끌어올려서 만든 브랜드들은 한 몇 개 정도 되고.
More than half of the brands that we host specialize. This brand here, Mooney, it's a local brand. He works only with plant dyes. So you can see the beautiful colors here. It's all from the plants. And it's all handmade. And I would have to say, as a local brand, he's one of the very few that has explored and has that kind of variety, a wide variety of colors. That most brands you can see purely indigo, but this brand you can see a variety of colors that he works with.
상당히 어려운 길을 가고 있거든요.
Yes.
하여.
A lot of people ask me like, are you doing business or you're doing like something else? Because it's hard. It's hard. You know, it's just not something that it's all about profit. Again. It's more about educating and trying something new. I always say we are going against the grain of a typical fashion business. We're going against the grain there.
먼저 앞서 나간 것들은 잘 되고 있어요, 이게. 유럽이나 미국이나 한국도 이제 올라가고 있거든요. 그래서 우선 그 부분은 응원한다고 이야기해 주시고.
Thank you. Thank you.
그래서 이제 아까 그런 특성들 8가지 특성 외에 좀 질문하고 싶은 게, 이 쿠알라룸푸르 사람들은 지역에 이런 고유한 것들에 좀 관심이 많습니까? 어떻습니까?
We are still serving a niche group within Malaysia. So I think again it boils back to education. This is not normal yet, right? So we've got a long way still in terms of educating. So again, at this stage, it's still a niche market that we're serving. I hope that will change when it normalizes.
예, 그래서 이제 조금 어려운 질문일 수도 있는데, 쿠알라룸푸르 사람들은 그 생각을 할 때 아까 이야기했던 방사 사람, 뭐 어떤 동네 사람, 그런 인식이 좀 있습니까? 한국에서는 사고를 이제 전체로 안 하고 이 조그만 동네의 사람으로 사고를 하는 식으로 변하고 있어요.
I think Bangsar has what's special about it. It has the old and the new, and it attracts a variety of demographic. Still in the weekends, maybe every day in the week I get the same kind of customer base, but in the weekends you have people from far away coming in for food. They love to hang out here. It's still a very inviting location. People have meetings here, and also the kind of shops that are around us, it's a variety. We've got great local brands here as well downstairs. So it's a good mix. I don't feel we're too detached from, people don't look at us as like, exclusive, only for that crowd. Not at all.
앞으로의 계획이 좀 아까 이야기도 했는데 매장을 늘려나갈 거라고 말씀하셨는데 앞으로 혹시 구체적 계획이 있는지.
Future plans, definitely immediate future plans is we want to have more locations within Malaysia. That is the immediate plans for us. Yeah, and we would love to have also further along the way to be able to bring some of these local sustainable brands outside of Malaysia.
뭐 예를 들면 오사카 같은 경우에는 그 지역에서 만든 브랜드가 일본 전역으로 넓혀지기도 하고 해외로 진출하기도 하거든요. 그렇게 되길 원합니다.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
그래서 앞선 질문이 약간 그런 개념이었어요. 그러니까 오사카의 브랜드가 일본의 전국적인 브랜드가 되고 세계로 뻗어나가듯이 방사에 있는 언플러그가 말레이시아 전역으로 퍼져나가고 다른 나라에까지 진출하는. 그래서 로컬의 범위를 제가 질문했던 겁니다.
That's definitely the wish. That's definitely the wish.
이게 지역성과 정체성을 말하는 거군요. 말레이시아 사람으로서 이걸 만든 것인지, 그 상관없이 그냥 만든 것인지.
You can never ignore local communities, wherever you are. Even if I'm not Malaysian, say I live in Korea, it's very important to work with Korean local artists.
이제 의문이 풀렸어요. You are global citizen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
You are global citizen.
Yeah.
그러니까 가치나 철학이 지역성에 있기보다는
Yeah.
그러니까 지속 가능성에 두는 같다.
Yeah. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that.
정리하면 지속 가능성에 대해서 가치나 철학을 갖고 있는데 이 지속 가능성을 위해서는 스몰 브랜드가 필요하고 스몰 브랜드들은 지역의 고유성을 담은 크래프트 제품들이 많기 때문에 디자인의 창의성과 결합해서 이런 이제 브랜드 샵을 만든 거네요. 정말 멋집니다.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. 장시간 진짜 고맙습니다. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Yeah, my future short-term plan is definitely to have more than one location within Malaysia. And my long-term plan is really to promote these brands and bring them outside of Malaysia. I wish to see our fellow Malaysians to think about, be more mindful about who you support, what you purchase, and I'm hoping to see more awareness around sustainability within the retail production and consumption. Yeah, for people to really go back to basics of understanding how their products are made, who made it, how you can change your habit towards a more sustainable lifestyle. To really stay true to your calling, to understand and have passion for what you do, and also to be mindful that we are one part of a larger ecosystem. We are amongst others and we are part of the environment. So in whatever that we do, it's good to consider our impact towards others and keep going.
언플럭은 지속가능, 지역자원이라는 DNA를 품고 있는 편집샵인데요. 가치에 맞춘 기준이 언플럭의 고유성을 유지시켜줍니다. 사실 기준이란 건 큐레이션의 기본 중에 기본입니다. 언플럭에서는 관점을 어떻게 로컬 브랜드를 풀어낼 수 있는지를 배울 수 있었습니다.